Hello, Sagittarius, and welcome to my channel, Tarot by Gabrielle. This is going to be a general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs, looking at your recent past, your current energy, and your immediate future, answering the question, what do you need to know right now in order to move forward in alignment with your higher self? As always, I've gone ahead and pulled the oracle cards and clarified those. I have a deck that I'll be using in the reading already shuffled, as well as the decks that I'll be using in the extended. Any information on the extended reading or on booking a personal reading with me is in the description box below. All right, Sagittarius. This is about some sort of opportunity for wish fulfillment. Sounds pretty straightforward, right? But let's dive in and see what the details of this are. Because in your recent past, you have balanced spirituality and practicality with the Nine of Pentacles. And this Nine of Pentacles to me is like a gate to the Ten of Pentacles. So it's like a wish fulfillment that is in alignment with your long-term abundance. Now, your recent past was a learning period on how to both attract and sustain this Nine of Pentacles. So usually I've learned that usually right before good things happen, I go through a period of things not being so good and things being very painful, experiencing a lot of loss, a lot of frustration, feeling very lost. And I feel like that's kind of what you were dealing with in your recent past, but you have this balanced spirituality and practicality, which to me is learning to balance, find that balance between what's within and what's without. Remember, as above, so below, as within, so without. So learning that your circumstances aren't actually any indication of your future or of the life that you are capable of living. Your current circumstances are merely a product of your past level of, thinking and believing. Now, remember, and I feel like I repeat this in a lot of readings, but I feel like it's really important, is that 95% of our movements, choices, and decisions come from our subconscious, which means that you have internalized your experiences, your painful experiences, as an aspect of these beliefs. And those beliefs are now a product, those beliefs are now the root of the results that you experience. So it's not your fault that you've attracted painful situations. I would never sit here and say that. It is, however, your responsibility, if you want things to change, to get to the core reason why certain painful situations in your life have happened and what beliefs within are being reflected in your environment. Now, in your current energy, you have luck is on your side with the Three of Swords in reverse. Now, I really like this message because you have been healing and you have been, wading through a lot of this pain, and that is actually creating, whether or not you realize it yet, Sagittarius, it's creating the foundation for this opportunity that you're wanting. Now, in your immediate future, you do have nothing is set in stone with this Page of Pentacles. So nothing is set in stone with this opportunity that you want. Not all Sagittariuses are going to get the opportunity that they want yet. That doesn't mean you're never going to get it or that you're never going to get there. But if you've been doing the healing and shifting your belief system in alignment with your abundance, as opposed to maybe a lack mentality, or more in alignment with your fear, which is how most people are living their life, right? Most people who haven't started the healing process, or aren't really on a spiritual journey, are looking at their life through that lens of um you know whatever, like just reaction to the reality, like just kind of accepting reality as it is instead of creating it for themselves. And so this, to me, Sagittarius, is an opportunity to create the reality that you want in some way, shape, or form. So let's start by looking at your recent past, clarifying balance, spirituality, and practicality with the Nine of Pentacles. Recent past for Sagittarius, please. Recent past for Sagittarius, clarifying balance, spirituality, and practicality with the Nine of Pentacles. There it is. There are those limiting beliefs. Oh my gosh, I knew I went on that spiel for a reason. Because this Eight of Swords in reverse, you have it upright, but the Eight of Swords in reverse is my favorite card in tarot, because it talks about releasing yourself from those limiting beliefs that keep you trapped in limiting experiences. And so these limiting beliefs were really brought to the surface in your recent past so that you could work through a lot of your fear. Because your fear has been keeping you, whether or not you realize it, from what it is that you want, from this Page of Pentacles, this opportunity, whatever that is. We might get clarity on it, but these Eight of Swords, these limiting beliefs, were definitely brought to the surface in your recent past, specifically around whatever it is that you're wanting to manifest or wanting to attract or create or have or experience. Recent past for Sagittarius. I just like saying all those words because I feel like manifest can be it's a buzzword, right? But there's more to it than just manifesting. It's creating and healing and aligning. Recent past for Sagittarius. Wow. Okay. You were stuck in your recent past, Sagittarius, and you have the King of Cups in reverse with the Five of Wands. And then the Six of Swords in reverse, talking about kind of being stuck. Now, what you didn't realize is that you felt stuck because in that energy, you are actually working through a lot of your own resistance to your abundance. It's interesting how we as human beings actually have a tendency to resist our own abundance. We're actually more afraid of abundance than we are of repeating painful cycles, because the painful cycles are familiar and they're predictable and we know how they're going to feel. Even if they're painful, at least we know how we're going to feel. And on a subconscious level, we prefer that. Abundance, especially if you've never really fully experienced it, that fulfillment aspect of abundance, that's unfamiliar and that's scary. The scariness, of the unfamiliarity that we experience keeps us stuck in repeating painful cycles. And that is our resistance to our abundance. Now, you can go deeper into that and say that it's because we have beliefs that we aren't deserving, that we aren't capable, that the universe doesn't have our back. So many different things can play into that. But if you're looking at it from a higher picture, that's what it is. And so in your recent past, whether or not you realized it, you were experiencing quite a bit of resistance to your own abundance. And that is very common. And typically, we experience the most resistance to our abundance right before we receive our abundance, or an aspect of our abundance. So try to keep in mind that when things aren't working out for you, they could very well be preparing you for them working out for you. It just will take time to really be able to see that. All right, reset pass for Sagittarius. Reset past for Sagittarius, please. Ooh, yeah, okay. A lot of fear. Oh, goodness. Sagittarius, your recent past was tough. You have the Nine of Swords, the Two of Wands in reverse, and the Knight of Cups in reverse. A lot of overthinking in your recent past, and a lot of fears, doubts, and insecurities were brought to the surface. Now, remember, our fears, doubts, and insecurities, 95% of those live in our subconscious. Therefore, is our resistance to our abundance. So if you were feeling very fearful, afraid, anxious, worried, overthinking a lot, feeling very triggered, the universe, in a very backwards way, was trying to actually help you. And I feel like if you're fully able to get through this healing process, which you are capable of it, right? Then what's on the other side will make this worth it. You just can't see that yet. And I feel like that's the biggest thing. Because, yeah, here's the Hermit. The universe was trying to shine a light on what needed to be healed. And so all of what needed to be healed was brought to the surface. And I feel like now you're in an energy of doing the healing, doing the work. And through that, you are creating your love. You're creating your ability to manifest. Current energy for Sagittarius, clarifying luck is on your side with the Three of Swords in reverse. Current energy for Sagittarius, please. Current energy for Sagittarius, please. The Four of Pentacles with the Eight of Pentacles. See, you've been working. You've been doing the work. You've been working on your stability, maybe both within and without. It doesn't mean you haven't faced obstacles. It doesn't mean that you don't still feel stuck, but you've been putting in the work. And though I feel like you haven't received the benefit of this yet, or maybe you have a little bit, but not to the fullest extent, the amount of effort that you're putting in will match the amount of abundance you receive at the end of this. So understand that what the work that you're putting in, the healing that you're doing, and the pain that you're experiencing, it's not all in vain. It's happening to get you to where you want to go. Now, nothing is yet set in stone, right? And I actually very much love this card, because I don't want that to be an anxiety inducing card where you're like, oh my gosh, like, am I going to be able to get there? Am I going to create it? Am I doing things right? Like, I don't want that to be what this card is saying, because I actually really like this card because to me it's saying it's in your hands, and as long as you're doing the best you can, you're going to be just fine, right? It's almost like a calming card to me. Like, yeah, nothing is set in stone, but that doesn't mean that one mistake is going to make everything fall apart, or that being perfect is the only way to get there, because that's just unrealistic, right? Current energy for Sagittarius, please. Current energy for Sagittarius, please. There's the Six of Swords. Slowly but surely, you are getting yourself unstuck. Slowly but surely, you're heading towards a new beginning. Now, I feel like I say all of this, and I feel like it really doesn't feel like it, because I feel like you're just in this Three of Swords in reverse energy. Is there anything else Sagittarius needs to know about this message? I just feel like this might need some clarity. The Moon in reverse. Yeah, it's because you're working through fear. So, in working through fear, that means you're probably experiencing a lot of it, which is why it probably doesn't feel like things are moving in a good direction for you, is because you probably feel like you're going backwards, or you feel like you're stuck in the same place, or you're experiencing, your limiting beliefs that are saying like you're never going to get there, or you're not good enough, or you're not deserving enough. Like, all of those fears are currently being worked through, which means you are probably feeling more like things aren't working out for you than they are. But that doesn't mean that they aren't. It just means that your belief, remember, we see the world through the lens of um our reality is our perception, essentially, is what I'm trying to say. And if right now you're experiencing a lot of fear, doubt, insecurity, your current perception of your reality is going to be worst case scenario, right? And working through that is necessary, and trying your hardest to lean on faith and saying, this is working out for me. I don't know how yet. I don't know how I'm going to get there. I have no idea, how this is going to turn out, but I do know that it's going to turn out in the best possible way for me. I know that everything is working out for the absolute best for me. And the more that you lean on that, the more that you won't allow, the perception of your fear, doubt, and insecurity to completely control or sabotage you, right? Which is where a lot of people give up on the journey, is when they do start to experience their resistance in real time and start, allowing it to control them. Current energy for Sagittarius. What else does Sagittarius need to know about their current energy? Current energy for Sagittarius, please. Judgment with the Three of Pentacles in reverse and the Moon. We often fear because we have experienced, meaning we fear we're never going to receive a sustainable, lasting love because we've never experienced it. We fear we're never going to have financial abundance or stability or support because we've never experienced it, right? We fear what we have experienced. And so when you look at how things have fallen apart, look at what fear that situation and the fallout of that situation is trying to address. Because oftentimes you'll see that the fear associated is what led to the fallout in general. So, for instance, our ego and our brain, but mainly our ego, which is the aspect of our brain that is there to keep us safe, right? It often likes to be right. So if you fear, and it's a belief within you, that you are never going to experience a relationship that is safe, genuine, unconditional, and reciprocal, right? Maybe that's a belief that you have. Your tendency and your ego will have a tendency to choose situations that align with that fear so that it can go, told you so. Because it likes to be right, because it likes that predictability. And oftentimes you'll be able to see, okay, my fear is that I'm never going to have what I deserve. So I often choose what I don't deserve because it's easier to be right than experience the unknown of actually going after what I deserve, right? And so if you can look back at past situations and look at how things have fallen apart and try to address the fear associated with how things fell apart, then I feel like that will help you in moving forward, not fear it so much, because you'll start to understand, okay, I get why that fear, I get why I made that choice out of fear. And now I can know that the next choice that I make is going to be out of faith and not fear. Immediate future for Sagittarius, clarifying nothing is yet set in stone with the Page of Pentacles. Immediate future for Sagittarius, clarifying nothing is yet set in stone with the Page of Pentacles. Immediate future for Sagittarius, please. Immediate future for Sagittarius, please. The more that you allow yourself, and this is why nothing is yet set in stone, the more that you allow yourself to learn what you need to learn about your past and align more with your future instead of past experiences, the more that what you're looking for will find you. So right now your focus might be on how you don't have all of these things, right? You don't have all of those things because you haven't yet been able to create those things. And I experience that in my own life all the time with, certain financial situations or friendships or familial relationships, whatever the case is. It's, well, I am currently not at a place in my own alignment to have what it is that I desire from my external alignment, right? Or my external environment, not necessarily alignment. And so your immediate future is to try to adjust your perception on how you receive what is meant for you. And understand that what is meant for you, first and foremost, will never pass you. And second of all, when we are dealing with our abundance and when we are dealing with abundance that is in alignment with us, the universe is strict on making sure that we become and step into the power of the person who can, yes, of course, attract it, but also sustain it. Because if you woke up tomorrow with everything you've ever wanted, the love that you desire, the millions of dollars or whatever the financial abundance is that you desire, if you just woke up with your wildest dreams, you would go, oh my gosh, I don't know how to handle this. I'm not capable. I'm not deserving. And those fears would surface and you would sabotage it away. Because we do that as humans. And so understand that you working through all of this fear and you working through all of this, all these limiting beliefs and all these anxieties, though painful, it's actually beneficial for you. And the more that you can try to learn from them as opposed to allow them to consume you, the better off we're going to be. And I know that's hard. Trust me, I know how hard that is. But it's also kind of where miracles happen, is in that moment when we allow ourselves to shift from a perspective of fear to faith. Immediate future for Sagittarius. Immediate future for Sagittarius, please. Sun with the King of Cups. I like this. This is emotional abundance to me, or emotional fulfillment. It's like being so good that you're no longer affected so much by what happened. So one of my favorite memes, pictures on the internet, I guess you can say, is it's this image and it's like a split image, and on one side there's this little girl and she's really happy and the background is bright and it's sunny and nature is all pretty, and it says everything is okay. And then on the other side, it's the same little girl, but she's standing in a stormy weather. The background isn't as pretty, and she's, basically in the middle of the storm. And it says everything is okay. And it's like what I used to think stability was versus what stability actually is. And it's learning that even when things aren't necessarily going your way, you're able to say, you know what? Things are still working out for me, even if I don't know how. And that is actually where happiness is created. That's where fulfillment is created. Your fulfillment isn't created in your circumstances, because your circumstances are temporary. They're never going to be happy all the time. They're never going to be stable all the time. There will always be problems. And I learned that since moving into my current house. There's always something wrong with this freaking house. And I think that's just what like owning a house is all about. But like there's always something wrong. Like there's always something broken or something that needs to be fixed or something that needs to be done. And I've learned that like that's always going to be the case. There's always going to be something that needs to be fixed or something that isn't perfect, and that is life. But eventually certain things get fixed, and yeah, something else breaks, but it's a whole new problem, and you learn whatever you need to do to solve that problem. And learning to adapt to what's going on around you with I don't want to say positive mindset, because I don't want to get into the like, I don't want you to think I'm talking about like toxic positivity, like just stay happy all the time, because that's not possible either. But staying in faith as opposed to fear is what creates miracles for us. And that's hard to do, but our faith is forged in the fire of our pain. And the more that you can look at your pain as a blessing, as hard as that is, the more that you will start to see that it's actually working for you. It's actually doing, like, it actually has benefit and is working miracles for you on a deeper level that you're not fully aware of yet. Immediate future for Sagittarius. Now, that's where you can say certain people, hurt people, right? People who choose to allow their pain to consume them often make decisions allowing that pain to be the controller of their life. When we get hurt, it's important that we choose to see our situation and our life through the lens of our healing, right? And so you always have a choice. When you experience painful situations, you have a choice to let it consume you and control you, or you have a choice to heal from it, work through it, face it, and learn from it, right? And obviously, that's going to be the best option for you. Immediate future for Sagittarius. I see a lot of good in your future, though. You don't have a lot of hope of that, though. I feel like you're experiencing a lot of a lack of hope on quite a big level, because these are two cards of lack of hope. And that's okay. You don't have to be hopeful all the time. But try your hardest in each and every situation, and this is more advice for your future than anything, to not necessarily lean so much on hope of specifics, like, man, I hope this person comes back and tells me how much they love me and, things work out, or I hope that I make this amount of money this year. Like, don't lean so much on hope, because that can often set you up for disappointment. Sorry, buddy. But try to lean more on faith, saying whatever happens is happening for my highest good, and what I am wanting to receive is on its way to me. Even if it doesn't look like I thought it would, it's going to be better. Here's a mantra for you. If it's not this, then it's better. It's not this, then it's better. And that mantra can change your perception in an instance, because it can go from, man, I really need this to work out, or else I'm not going to be happy, to, if this doesn't work out, I'm going to end up happier than I would be if it did, and that right there is a miracle. That shift in perception is a miracle, because that's when you allow the universe to work miracles in your life. All right. I'm going to hop on over to the extended. I'm going to clarify these messages, jump into the advice, and then I have an actual advice card to pull at the end. Thank you so much, Sagittarius, as always, for your support of my channel. I think you guys are I have more Sagittarius subscribers than any other sign by far. So thank you guys always for your support. And as always, I wish you nothing but love and healing on your journey moving forward. All right, bye, Sagittarius.